Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry. We took a couple minutes to get this call started. We had a couple technical difficulties over here. Hello, hello. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Erica. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Rose. Hi, Amy. Hi, Sarah. So good to see you all. Hi, Adria. Hi, Bodhi. Yay, it's Bodhi's first call. Hello, hello. Hi, Megan.
Hello. So happy to be here with all of you. This is the day that you may have been waiting for your whole life, a day tech implementation, a day for support in this mysterious realm that so many of you say is your biggest pain point. We've got you. We're here with you. This is the day.
This is the day. We did it. Welcome, welcome.
So excited to be with you. I know people are just hopping on the call here, and this is the day that we are going to be here to support you all to dial in your technology and the back end of your business, because we all know having a sexy back end is the name of the game. And it might not feel that way right now with what's happening behind the scenes in your business. So having the tech pieces dialed in will give you so much more confidence with enrolling clients. And today is about tech and some light brainstorming about the kind of results that you want to get from your free gifts and those opt-ins that you're creating. So just as we're getting started here, I know that Sage wants to welcome in, especially everyone who just jumped in the last couple days. We've had a bunch more women just jump in, and all of you who are here for your very first time, welcome. So happy to have you, and all of you who are here for your second year, welcome. We are so happy to be here with you.
Hello, hello to everyone. I just have a few minutes today. I'm actually doing a bunch of interviews to launch my podcast today. And hold on a second, we're just going to clean up the line. So you guys, basically what I really want to say to every single one of you is it's going to be a freaking amazing year. And seriously, for those of you who just have joined us, raise your hand if you've just joined us in the last couple of weeks. Hello, hello to Rachel and Himalaya and Katrina and Katiana and Bodhi and so many of you who just have jumped in. Thank you for trusting us. Let's all take a breath and let ourselves get landed here for a moment. Looking into the computer, looking into the video camera as if you were looking into the eyes of every single woman you love, and then letting all of these gorgeous mosaic of faces of strong and powerful businesswomen, letting this love fly right back into your eyes, your soul, your heart. Feel the energy coming through your video camera right now, knowing that in this moment you're connected to hundreds of women from all over the world who, just like you, have said yes to bringing a bigger message to the world and said yes to learning the technology because it's all figure outable. And when you're ready, go ahead and unmute yourself and give each other a big wahoo of yes, we are doing this together. Ow, ow, ow! Woo! It's happening. And you may even be able to talk Megan and Michael and Erica into a dance break halfway through the day. I wanted to hop on today because really, I want you to know who these people are that are leading you today, especially those of you who are new to our world. Megan Neely is a graduate of Women Rocking Business Programs. She had her first $250,000 launch within 18 months of being in leverage. She is no different from you. If you are wanting to have similar results, she is going to show you the way today. Megan is somebody who basically, if she's faced with an obstacle, the question she asks is, okay, how do I figure it out? And I have watched her every single month figure out new things, new technology. She comes to me and teaches me about Eventbrite and how to optimize some of my opt-in pages. And she's the absolute best leader that I could find to lead you through the tech today, because I'll just be super honest with you guys. I don't actually have my finger on the pulse of all the technology we use at this point in Women Rocking Business. Does that make sense, you guys? Give me an if that makes sense. Like, I wanted to make sure you guys had people to teach the tech to you who are on the front lines of our tech. The other person that's going to be leading you today is my boyfriend, Michael, who is here. And Michael actually is somebody that my team leans on for tech support and tech guidance. Michael builds out funnels and podcasts for digital marketers. That's what he does. It's his area of expertise. He's built out, he's supported and allied with really top podcasters like Steve Olsher. He's building out Rika Zimmerman's podcast right now. If you guys know Rika, he's building out our podcast. He helped Megan and her partner Erica build out their Lesbians in Love podcast and handle a lot of the tech behind the scenes. And Erica is here too. Erica, where are you? Give them a little wave and let me see if I can make you. Yeah, there she is. Can you guys see Erica? Unmute yourself so they can see you, Erica.
Hello, beautiful women, and Michael. So happy to be with all of you today.
So we actually brought in Erica for the day to help just answer your questions, because we knew there's probably going to be more questions than we have time to answer while we're live with you guys. Does that make sense? So your Facebook groups are going to be the place to land with a bunch of questions. Erica is going to be supporting you there. And the last thing I really want to say as you guys dive into technology today is, today is going to be about 40% content that's going to be accessible to everybody, regardless of what system you decide to choose to do your tech. Like, you could use WordPress, you could use a program called MailChimp, you could use a program called Lead Pages, you could use whatever you want. And there's still going to be 40 to 50% of the content today is going to be accessible to all of you guys. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? Now, for those of you that want to check out our new recommended system, I've done a bunch of research over the winter with Michael, and what I've seen is that Kajabi is now our #1 recommendation for an all-encompassing system that can do so many different things in your business. It can capture email addresses. It can help you get simple websites up. All the things that we're going to be teaching you to do this year will be fast with Kajabi. It doesn't mean Kajabi is the only solution. It just means that Kajabi is our recommended solution. That being said, I want you guys to know, if you're already in a system you like, you don't need to switch over to Kajabi to get value from being in Women Rocking Business. Does that make sense? 95% of what we teach you this year can be implemented by any system you use. But we're going to do some extra trainings for those of you that do want to use Kajabi, because if we're going to handhold you and help you even more with the tech, we've got to choose one system to help you with. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? Like, we can't help you with every single system out there. Do you know what I mean? So you guys are going to get a tour of Kajabi today. You guys are going to get a chance to decide whether it's something you want to try or not. You can try it using our link for free. When you try it using our link, then yes, absolutely, you become one of our referral partners in Kajabi, which means that we can give you a little more support. You're going to get some bonus calls with us. Megan's going to explain that whole thing. We're also going to be giving a percentage of that profit to the girls in Uganda, because we basically take any money that comes in through affiliate relations in Women Rocking Business and we pay it forward to our humanitarian partners. So that being said, I'm really excited for you guys to dive in and to get a ton of great content today. And many of you have been asking me, some of you guys have been asking me, Sage, do you use Kajabi? And the answer is, if Kajabi had existed 10 years ago, I 100% would be using it. But we now have a custom designed membership forum, which you guys have all been in, with all your class tiles and all your library materials. I'll be honest with you guys, we've spent tens of thousands of dollars to build that membership forum. And I would rather you not make the mistakes that we've made along the line. Now that we're in that membership forum, it would be silly of us to try to get out of it. Does it make sense, you guys? So if I were starting a business now, and this is exactly what I told my brother. In fact, I literally bought my brother Kajabi for 6 months because that's how much I believe in it. So I think it's a really solid system to get you guys started. For those of you guys that need somewhere to get started, Megan will remind you of where to find our link if you want to sign up through us and get that extra training. But first and foremost, take a nice deep breath. Know that you are the very best part of Women Rocking Business, and you are in such good hands with Megan and Michael and Erica. These guys are the tech gurus of the company. And Megan, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Sage. Thank you so much for coming and just shining your light and getting us started and really paving the way with finding out how this can be even more easeful, because I know tech can be an area that can easily get us tripped up. And for you, as you've said, you've spent tens of thousands of dollars investing in creating this whole thing from scratch. And how amazing is it that all of you don't have to do that now? So we're going to be getting to support you with another path that is going to be so much easier for you today.
And this is pretty cool, you guys. Our clients have been asking for a couple of years, would you guys just pick a system and help us more intimately and do some implementation days? And so you guys have been asking for it. We've given it to you. This is a bonus day. Definitely let us know at the end of the day what you might want more of or different on future implementation days. Just so you guys know, future implementation days are not going to be about Kajabi. They're going to be about systems like Instagram and Facebook and things that you guys are all using for free. So this is the day that we're going to introduce you to the behind the scenes tech that we really love. And I'm really excited to dive in with you guys next week on your official May training calls. I'll be doing both the ELA and leverage training calls next week. So I'll see you guys all then. Love you all. You're amazing.
Yes. Mwah. Bye for now, Sage. All right. So as we dive in, first of all, I just really want to speak to a little bit of how the flow is going to go today, because some of you have been asking, and I know that it helps you to relax into the container. So our plan is to go until 1:15-ish Pacific time today, and then take a 45-minute break and return at 2 p.m. Pacific time, so that you've got some time to have a snack, move around, and I encourage you to keep moving and breathing while we're here doing this, because sometimes you can just get into the zone of writing everything down and focus. And when we forget to breathe, that's when we go into overwhelm. That's when we go into our fear mind. And that's why that response so often happens when we're in this tech experience. So just invite you right now to ground your feet, really land, and take a really full, deep inhalation, and exhale, sigh out through your mouth. And just remember that you can do that again and again throughout this experience. Anytime you start noticing yourself, oh no, I don't know that, and I don't know that, and this is so much. So, the sighing out, okay? You're welcome to just keep that deep breath going, and slowing down your breath will bring you back into the present. And I also just want to speak to showing you where the action sticker is. So during calls, for some of you who've never been on a call with us before, you might not be familiar with this. During calls, we post action stickers. And what that means is, I'm going to do a little screen share here. In your Facebook group, it looks like this. In Leverage 2020 Leverage and 2020 Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy, we post a sticker that says Implementation Day questions post here. And so you'll see that sticker right there that you can just go underneath and go ahead and post your questions. And Erica's going to be on that, monitoring there. Michael and I will be able to hop back and forth a little bit, but this is your zone rather than having questions in the Zoom, because it would get to be too much of a distraction. We just put them over there on the Facebook page. So I'm going to stop the share, but there we go. It's coming back. Okay. So we're really excited to support you all today to dial in your technology. And like we said, today is really about the tech and some brainstorming for the results of your free gifts. And for beginners, we may, it may feel like it's a lot of new information. And just remember that we have the entire year together. So you do not have to get this all today, and all of this is being recorded. So it's going to be up in your member forum within 24 to 48 hours. It's always posted. Every call that we do is always up within 24 to 48 hours at the most, and you'll be able to access it there. If you don't know a term that we're talking about, like autoresponder or opt-in page, just go ahead and write it down, type it into that Facebook block. And as you, if someone's not, I'm going to mute. So if you're not muted, just make sure you mute as you come in. Okay, there we go. So, so as you go into the Facebook page and you get to write your question in there, we'll get to it. We'll help sort those things out. But just know that we'll be moving forward. So if you feel like you're not sure, you'll be able to go back and see that answer. For advanced students, for leverage clients, for Lotus clients, be patient because this is an all levels call. And so go ahead and raise your hand. And if you can, agree to help each other out today. Really help to answer each other's questions in the Facebook group and create an environment where everyone wins and everyone is going to get their 1 degree shift to really rock your business. So if you're with me, and this being all levels experience, and you're willing to support each other on this journey, go ahead and raise your hand right now so we can see you loud and proud. All right, I love seeing those hands. You're here as a support system for each other. And like Sage said, today is going to be about 30 to 40% content that anyone can use. The afternoon is going to be more focused in Kajabi. So just know that piece, that we'll spend more time in that realm this afternoon. Okay, so I am going to do a quick screen share and just go through one of the handouts. These will be in your forum. And I do want to do a share with you if I have the forum open. I believe I do. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do a quick screen share with you so you see where to find the forum. So when you log in to the Women Rocking Business forum and you're in the back end of our business, you'll see all these tabs across the top of the screen. I'm in the Leverage Class 2020 right now, but if you're in Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy, it would look very similar. And you would just go to the Classes tab at the top. When you go to the Classes tab, you'll see a whole bunch of boxes. Some of the boxes are gray. That means we haven't covered it yet. We're not on that module. If the box is brown, it means that, and it has that teal around it, it means that that's one that we're in. So you can go ahead and click on that box, and it's going to give you access to all the videos, all the handouts that are behind that portal, behind that door gateway. And it's probably going to be really slow because I'm on Zoom. Okay. So once you're in that zone, this is the members area here. You're going to see all the different calls and times that were for the month of April. We had a bunch of bonus trainings. And so you'll be able to go back and listen to those as you're just joining in. And right underneath that, it'll say April 28th, Implementation Day handouts, opt-in page examples, and the opt-in tech day handout. I know a few of you don't have access yet to the forum because you literally just joined us yesterday or this morning. Oops. And that's okay because this is where you're going to find them later, and I'm going to be screen sharing them right now. So just know that for other calls, you'll be able to go down there and you'll see the different trainings and the handouts. So you haven't missed anything. It's all right in your library. And I'm going to come back from the share so I can see your beautiful faces. All right. So I'm going to go into sharing the opt-in pages handout here. All right. Okay, so the opt-in pages handout looks like this: Opt-in Pages Tech Implementation Day. And I'm just going to go over this briefly because it's going to be here for you, but I just want you to see that there are links here for you to use. There's resources for you to tap into. And here's the benefit of an opt-in page. For those of you who are new to this, and those of you who aren't new to it, but you're not sure what the benefits are compared to your website, the benefit is it's only one place for someone to click. So rather than a website, which will have a header and it has a bar with different options at the top, or maybe it's a bio and special events and media, all of those kind of things that can get people into a loop of distraction where they're going off and looking in different areas of your website, but they are not actually doing what you were hoping they would do, which is opt in to your email list so that they get on your list. An opt-in page really performs a lot better than those websites that have a lot of different pages, a brochure website, because there's only one place to click. People want to know what to do within the first 2 to 3 seconds of landing on the page, and that's why the opt-in page works so well. They're really fast to get up. We're going to actually show you later today how fast it is to get one up. We're going to do one live here so you get to see the whole process. And we also have helped a lot of clients build 6- and 7-figure big businesses with only having opt-in pages. I remember meeting a 7-figure coach a few years ago when I was interviewing her, and I asked about her website, and she said, "Oh, I don't have a website. I only have an opt-in page." And she had built 7-figure business already just from having an opt-in gift and connecting with clients that way. So for those of you who have felt like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have so much. I'm going to have to be, supporting. I'm going to have to be hiring people to support me on building a whole website. I don't know how to do these pieces. Just take a breath into that and remember that you only need an opt-in page to get started. So we've got a few examples of these. The womenrockingbusiness.com website is an example of a brochure website. And of course, we also have opt-in pages. So we've got 2 different links there for you. womenrockingstage.com/quiz is an opt-in page example. And then we also have a discovery session page example of what that looks like to be inviting people into discovery sessions. So conversion. When you get someone to take action, that's what conversion means. We look at what is the conversion of a brochure website, or what's the conversion of an opt-in page, and most websites convert less than 1%. And there are a few things you can do to get that conversion up a lot higher, and that's what we're going to be helping you with. So here's the highlights. You want to consider what to put above the fold. That means when someone clicks on their website and they open it on their computer screen, what do they see without scrolling down at all? This is what is above the fold. And then choosing a free gift, an opt-in gift, is a call to action. So you'll see that in our handouts as a CTA, call to action, and that's one clear call to action. We're going to be inviting you to make videos. Some of you have already made videos into the Leverage or the ELA page, and you're really familiar with doing a call to action at the end. You want to have just one thing that you're getting people to do, because when it's really clear like that, they're not thinking, well, which option should I do? They're just hearing, here's what I need to do. So having a hot free gift and putting it on that landing page is going to be a big help. And you have also the opt-in box. So an opt-in box is a spot that connects with your mailing list. And this is not like your Gmail, for instance. This is with a system like Kajabi that actually collects all the emails so that you can send them out and segment your list, and you're really clear on where those leads came from and what they're interested in. So you need a free gift to be enticing. It used to be that people would just say, sign up for my newsletter. And no one wants to do that anymore because they get enough emails. They need to know why would they sign up for a newsletter? They're going to sign up because they're getting something right away. And that could be an ebook, it could be a checklist, something that's easy, downloadable. And, in fact, ebooks are actually they don't convert as high. You might think, well, if I give people more, that's going to be even more beneficial. But what we've seen convert the highest is when people just have that simple one pager that they're giving, some kind of checklist, some kind of a downloadable gift. So we'll talk about some of those options. So for the leadership track, that's ELA, you want to start with a free gift of just a discovery session. Simple, easy. We've been working with you on really deciding what is that discovery session title going to be like, and we'll support you with that more over lunch as well. But the leverage track, you're more at the stage now where you're looking at the free gift. So it could be a discovery session, and it could also be something that doesn't require your time. So where you're just giving the free gift of that downloadable checklist, for instance. So we've got a few ideas here. Choosing a free gift with a hot title. A discovery session has hot, results-oriented title, and you're really using this as your starting place. So this is especially for leadership students. This is where you want to start. We give you a few examples there, and a discovery session thank you page is what comes after someone has opted in. So the opt-in page is a place where they put in their email. They say, yes, I want to sign up for the health breakthrough session or the weight loss breakthrough session in this example. And now a discovery session thank you page will take people directly to your link to book. So they've given their email. They've said, maybe they've answered a question or two on there about why they want to have the session with you. And you invite them in to the link to book. And then you can also invite them from there to join a Facebook group. If you have a Facebook group that's free, a place where you're starting to gather those potential clients and give them free training and posts in that group, this is a great opportunity to direct them there. An instant gratification gift. So that builds your list, and it allows you to just build without having your one-on-one time, but it's not as intimate. Obviously, if you have a one-on-one session with people and you're inviting them into that session, that's a direct lead to getting clients. The opt-in gifts is more just cultivating your list, generating that list. So a few different options. You could offer an assessment of some sort or a quiz. You could do an ebook. You could do a checklist or a blueprint, a template. And you can also have training audios or meditations. These are less converting now than they used to be. So, it can be good to have places on your site where you might share something, like if you did a talk and you have a video of that, you can definitely put that up on your website. People want to be able to see you and learn through video or learn through audio, but they're not as high converting as getting that simple one-pager type of opt-in instant gratification gift. So just starting to generate, what might that be if you were going to create one? For those of you who already have them, what could you create that's more in alignment with what you see your clients asking for now? How has this evolved? Maybe you created one and it's a year or two old, and now you see people asking for new things from you. How are you meeting those needs? You also want to have a free gift thank you page. So people don't just opt in and then that's it. It takes them to another page where it lets them know the free gift is on the way to their inbox, and you invite them to jump into your Facebook group. And you can do that with a short little video that's just a couple minutes long, or you can do it through just copy text written right on that page. So in both cases, you have the opt-in page and the thank you page, which gives you 2 points of connection with people. And this is the client generating funnel. Opt-in page to thank you page, and their emails show up. So here on the next page, we want to look at how do you maximize conversion. So we already talked about focusing on one thing, and really you want to just focus on the simple things that really are necessary. So aesthetics are not actually most important. So web designers would want you to believe that a beautiful website and a beautiful opt-in page are going to be the highest converting. And that's not really true. In fact, some of the ugliest are the highest converting. Some of the most, the bright orange buttons, the bright red buttons, the bright yellow buttons, like the click here with the arrows. People are so clear on what to do when they see those pages. So it's not about needing to make it the most beautiful website ever. It's really about how can you grab their attention. So there's a few things you can do. Attention grabbing headline. So visitors need to know, why are they there? They want to know that they're in the right place and they're paying attention. You also can benefit from a subheading. So you don't have to say it all in that headline. You want to pull your readers' eyes in through that website copy. So avoid long paragraphs, avoid a lot of text in general on that page. You only want the most simple, big, bold letters on the page. So very little text. And you'll see that when you go to the handout and you click on some of the examples from Sage as well. So just really keep it simple. You don't need a multi-page site. It's really better to start with that simple site. And you don't need to have multiple tabs. So you'll just want an opt-in box on that one site. If you do have multiple tabs, if it is a brochure style website and you're wanting to integrate what you're learning today into that, you want to put an opt-in option on every page, because someone might be landing on that website page from a direct link that you sent them to say, hey, check out my talk. Hey, check out this event that's coming up. So you do want to have an opt-in box opportunity on every page. That's so simple, just their name and email. That's all you need. All right, so we've got a few resources to help you build your pages. Like Sage said, the best one we know is Kajabi. And we do have a direct link for you, which is in your handout right here. And this is the link you'll want to click. It's a tinyurl.com/Sage Kajabi, Kajabi. And it's really all in one. Michael will be talking more about this and the benefits of Kajabi, but the reason to use Sage's link is because she does get a referral commission, and she's going to be donating a percentage of the referral fees that she gets through that to the work that we do with the organizations with Pachamama, Rainforest Preservation, the nonprofit Just Like My Child that's in Uganda. And we're also going to be using any of that extra referral money to put back into more training for you around Kajabi, so you'll get the benefits throughout the year. So that's why to go ahead and click the Kajabi link, you'll actually get a free trial when you get started. So it will be a great place for you to get to investigate more today as Michael gets talking about it. And other resources that we like, Entreport is another one. Entreport does most of the things that Kajabi does. Not so much the member forum, the member site. We will get to talk more about that, but it does the email management. You can do sales through Kajabi, have landing pages, all of that. And it's just more expensive than Kajabi. And it does have great affiliate tracking as well. But this is a good solution when you're already at 6 figures, or for those of you who may already have Entreport and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to redo everything. You don't have to. You can totally go forward with Entreport. But if you're just getting started with one system, or you've been using a bunch of different systems like Lead Pages and MailChimp and, and then one shopping cart and all the different things, you'll get to bring it together today and have a lot more ease. So we're also going to be brainstorming some of the discovery session and free gifts. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But I just want you to have these things in mind right now, because we'll be asking you to post, and I'll put up a sticker specifically for those things to brainstorm your free gifts. So for right now, just hold those, write them down on your own paper. And then I'll be putting up a sticker so that we can look at these. Just want to make sure you see, we've got other examples here, other client funnels of examples on that website so you can see them, and also an opt-in page template. So you don't have to come up with this on your own. This is one of the reasons you're here and you've chosen to get support. So it lays it out for you. Attention grabbing headline, calling all single moms or calling all conscious entrepreneurs. Then you want to use basically your what do you do kind of statement. It's discover the key strategies or the 3 key strategies to grow your business so you can have the impact and income you want. Then you have a video or an image of you and an opt-in for your free gift. So simple. You don't need anything else on that page, right? Does this sound like something you could get up in a day, in even an hour? You can. It can be that simple, and we'll show you it takes even less time than that. It's really about dialing in your copy. So this is a place where you'd want to book a session with your coach. This is a perfect area, perfect arena to get their help. Say, I'm making my landing page. I'm building a free gift out. Help me dial in that copy. And you can work on that together and then go away and implement the page that same day. So you need to identify the problem. You need to understand what are they frustrated with? What are they struggling with? And I would even recommend bringing that, your outline of what you think the problem is, what you hear them struggling with, bring that with you to your coaching session so you start off prepared. And then some bullet points about what you're going to give them as a result, as a resolution to what they're struggling with. And then a specific call to action and an opt-in for their free gift. Now, of course, your free gift may take a little more time, but I've easily put these things up in a matter of a day as well, because you can use systems like Canva. Canva.com is a great place to go. If you don't know about that, write that down, because you can make a simple one page that looks really beautiful and gives people a checklist or a downloadable 3 key strategies kind of list that makes it so easy for you to put that up. And we'll be doing some implementation days around systems like that as well for you to get some more support. And so this is a place for you to just look at the template and see what is it going to look like. This is also something you might want to show your assistant. I know that some of you have your assistants here, so welcome. We love you. You're such a vital part, important part of business success. Thank you for being here. We are only going to be taking questions from clients today because we can't answer everything. So please don't raise your hand if you're an assistant. Go ahead and text message or message however you communicate with your person who's in the program, and then you raise your hand so that we're just getting questions from the clients. I just wanted to speak to that piece. So I'm going to stop the share for a moment here. Come back to you. It's so strange not to be able to see your faces while I'm in the share. And I see that a few people have their hands up, and I am going to take a few questions now as well, because I know I went through that really fast, but I just really wanted you to see what's the orientation for this page. And I'm also going to show you a few examples so that you can just see them right in front of you. And I'm going to take a few more questions first here. So I see Danielle Hankinson. Let's go ahead and unmute yourself. Pop on your video if you're not.
Hello.
Hey, Danielle.
Hi. So I think I raised hand for something else and didn't put it back down, but
Okay.
I could come up with a quick question with the creating the Kajabi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if we're starting out, which is me, just go in there and just do it. Like, don't even look anywhere else. That'll be the best.
That's what we would recommend. So like Sage said, she looked a lot of other places. Kajabi didn't exist when she was starting. And, my experience is I've used quite a few different systems, and it would have been a lot easier if I had listened at the beginning, because I thought I'm going to really research and find a cheaper way. I'm going to find like somewhat better way, whatever I thought that was going to be. And I ended up using a bunch of different systems along the way. I made it a lot harder on myself. So similarly to what Sage is saying, it would have been great if I had just started out with Kajabi. I love it. I used Kajabi for creating a whole summit. And Michael might share that example later, but it was really so intuitive, and Michael's going to be walking you through. So if you don't have anything set up already, yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I've been hacking things together, and then I booked my first client. I'm like, all right, where can I put in a contract? Where can I put in this? And I want it all in one place. And then
great.
And then I found something else through my daughter, but then I'm like, well, that's not doing that. Yeah, so it's like,
okay, perfect. Well,
half the day hacking yesterday, which was wasting time. So so that sort of solves that.
All right. Well, great. I'm glad that you're, just looking for the easy solution of where all the pieces can come together. And absolutely, this is going to solve it. And like I said, Michael will get more into those pieces. And I know, Michael, maybe you want to just get in on these questions too. I'll unmute some people, but I see a lot of hands going up. So just so you know where we're headed, Michael is going to be doing an overview of Kajabi, all the things it does, and really look at the differences between that and Ontraport and other systems. So if you have a question specifically about Kajabi or the differences between other systems you're using, just go ahead and lower your hand right now, because we're going to get to all that information. And thank you, Danielle. Let's give you a kiss. Mwah. And for those of you who are new to our calls, that's what we do after someone asks a question. We blow a kiss in gratitude. And it's also a way to keep the engagement and action where you're not just sitting there and staring blankly like this at your screen, but you actually move occasionally and breathe. So there's dual meanings there. A good way to engage your own clients too. Thanks, Danielle, for starting us off. Okay, so the other hands are up are questions not related to Kajabi or switching systems right now specifically, and maybe related to things I've just covered. Go ahead and keep your hands up. And I'm going to answer like 3 or 4 here right now. And Michael, if you want to jump in too. So let's see, Deb Rubin, what is your question? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
I have a really kind of a probably basic question about opt-in pages and what you're talking about what is the problem? Like, what are you offering? Do you mean, okay, should the opt-in page be like the thing that we're solving for them in our year-long program? Or is it like the first step? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm refining and still in the process of languaging, like what the opt-in page is solving to the free gift as a direct funnel to my year-long program.
Yeah, so the year-long program page, that would be more a landing page. So that's a page where you have all those details about your year-long program on there. And then the opt-in page is just the free gift. So if you backtrack and think about what does, for all of you, what does your program or what is your series of sessions going to offer as a result? And you backtrack to, well, what would be that first thing that you could give them, that if someone's interested in working with you and in getting supported around their like embodiment and dance and movement, you know, what's a first thing that you could give them that would be a hot free gift? Does that answer it?
Yeah, but in terms of like what problem that solves, like,
yeah, what is the problem the gift solves? So for your opt-in page, you want to be looking at what is, so this is related to a bigger concept of spiral marketing. And spiral marketing really means that you solve one problem. That's the entry problem. So if you think about seeing a sign on a store when we used to be able to go into stores other than the grocery store, but you see a sign and you're like, there's a shoe store, and you walk in and you're like, I've come in for shoes. The shoe store might have other things in there, but you just want to think like, what is that first thing that someone's looking for? And then after you solve that problem, like for you, Deb, it might be something around people feeling like they're, disconnected from they're disconnected from their body, or they're feeling pain. I mean, I know that's one of your zones. So they're feeling pain, inflammation in their body, and they're not able to like move and dance in the way that they used to. And so you give them like a practice. In your case, it might be a little different, where it's a 10-minute video or something like that. Here's a practice that you could do every morning for a week, and notice, how you feel in your body after you've given yourself the gift of this, this experience, this time. So you're giving them a taste of what is it that they're going to need to want to take you up on more. It's like the appetizer.
And then do you give them a follow-up? Is there like a next step?
Yeah, so that would be a sequence of emails where you're ultimately, don't get overwhelmed for those of you who are like, oh no, all these things. So the sequence of emails is just keeping their engagement. So you don't want to give someone just a free gift and then you leave them out in the ethers. They have the free gift, and now what happens if you told them to do something for a week? Check in on them midweek with an automatic email that says, are you doing your practice? Just a reminder, you might have fallen off course. Go ahead and open it up right now. Let's do this together. And then in 7 days, there's another email. Go ahead and reply to this email. Tell me what you're experiencing. How was this for you? I actually read your replies. Those kind of emails are super hot. I've gotten the most response when I do those kind of things. And I would add in even, with a system like Kajabi, you can add in the person's name to the subject. You can auto fill it in there, so that I would be like, Deb, comma, how's it going with your practice? And I'm like, what? She knows me? Like, this is just for me? And when you add that piece in, you're getting into this deeper communication. People need between 7 and 15 touch points before they're often willing to take another step. And so that's where the autoresponder kind of sequencing comes in, and building that rapport and that connection. All right, I see your thumbs up. Awesome
Thank
question,
you.
Deb. You're welcome. Mwah. So you kiss. And let's see, Vaidehi, I see your hand. Go ahead and lower, or I'm lowering your hand, but go ahead and unmute.
Thank you. Hi, Megan. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
My question is about the website, the Optin page, and the opening video that you might put on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like Deb's question about the free gift, I'm wondering, what would I be selling in my video? What am I directing them to? My Jumpstart program, my 6-month program, a free gift?
Yeah, so in your video, you're just directing them to the free gift. Like, use the free gift, get their attention there. That's the first important thing. The program is going to come a little later down the line. So as they're getting into your email list and you're nurturing them, that's where I was speaking to Deb, having a nurture sequence of emails. So yeah, so for you, it's just about the free gift at the start. That's what you want people to do. And then you want them to potentially jump into a Facebook group. If you've started that, that would be a good next step.
Yeah, and so what would the script be? Would it be like a 2-minute offer video kind of vibe for the free gift?
Exactly. A 2-minute offer video with the call to action being why your free gift is going to give them that next result that they're looking for.
Okay. One last question around that is, a part of me, because I'm a videographer and video editor, and a part of me wants to like make a video that shows shots of like women in my cacao ceremonies and in my full moon circles and like flower petals, and I have this desire to do that. And so I'm wondering, like, where does that desire like fit in the marketing space?
That's beautiful. You have that capacity. You can definitely do that in the 2-minute video, and you're speaking throughout that whole video. Like, the pictures could be over layered and going back and forth between you and the other images, where you're getting to share. Yeah, this is, taking that next step for them. And you want to just link it up to what are those images of the flower petal ceremonies and the cacao ceremonies, like what does it have to do with the free gift? So you just want to be strategic about how you're using those images, that it'll be really for them, and they'll feel like, oh, they're going to get to feel more of that kind of feeling in their lives when they opt in and claim that gift.
Yes. And so I'm in Leverage now, and one of my kind of assignments I'm working on is my 2-minute offer for 31 days. Sorry, I'm on 4 hours of sleep. What is it called? My Jumpstart program. And so I'm considering doing that. So can I get support in the group around this video concept?
Yeah, you could definitely get support in the group. This would be something to book a session with your coach for too, as another one, like really to dial that in. But you could also do a video, post it in the group, and ask for feedback. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Vaidehi. Let's give you a kiss. Everyone can join me in the actions. Yes. All right, I'm going to take 2 more brief questions for now. Kathy Stepien? I may be saying your last name wrong. My apologies. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
I can now. Yes. Hello.
Hi, Steppen. Anyway, thank you for taking my question. I have a question about the free gift. On my landing page right now, it's structured in such a way, I'm not sure where the opt-in page would be, just like on top of my landing page or a separate page altogether.
Yeah, well, this is a great one. Michael, do you want to jump in here and add your voice?
Yeah, so I'm not sure I fully understand your question. So you've got an opt-in page and on top of something else. Can you repeat that?
So I have a landing page at my website, beautifully made landing page.
Is it a WordPress site, by the way?
It is, yes.
Okay, WordPress site, landing page,
So where would I put the this opt-in in comparison to that? So would I just put it on my landing page, or would I create a whole nother page that's just the opt-in
you can build it on your landing page, and typically the way you would do that is you create the form, because remember, if you're going to use Kajabi, and I just answered an email, or a message in the post about opt-ins and stuff. The bigger question is, where are you keeping your leads, the emails that you do collect? And so there are certain, like I think Wix, you can collect an email within that, but WordPress sites typically not. So you're going to want your CRM, and if that's Kajabi, what you can do is you can create a form in Kajabi, and then you can take that form and have that sitting on your website, so people fill it out, their name gets added to your list in Kajabi. Does that answer your question?
That does. I just want to make it so that when someone finds me and is interested in my business, that they can right away find that free gift is right there waiting for them. So it sounds like putting it right there on the landing page. They're not looking around for it, and there's not a separate page for it. Just like right there on the landing page within 2 to 3 seconds. You mentioned, Megan, is that right?
It was in 2 to 3 seconds. So right towards the top, like I talked about, above the fold, all of that, so that it's not down at the bottom of your page. If you think about it as prime real estate, so what do you want to put in the prime real estate? So often people fill their prime real estate with just a beautiful picture. And I've been guilty of that too, because I do like beautiful things. And it's not the best use of the prime real estate. So you want to have the opt-in right up there at the top, even if it's not as pretty. Put your pretty pictures down lower, and it'll pay off.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Kathy.
Thanks,
You bet.
Let's give you a kiss. Mwah. All right, one more question. We'll hop over to Junie Moon right now. Good receiving. Junie, what's your question?
It's actually a quick question. You said, I have Entreport, and you said that Kajabi cost less than Ontraport, and yet what I saw at the basic level, it looked like it was the exact same price. So are we getting a different price to do Kajabi, or is it $147 for the basic for Kajabi? Do you know?
I don't know that, but Michael, you're muted.
The deal that I think that you're getting is, yes, it's one, well, depending on which of the 3 levels of Kajabi you sign up for, I think it is the $147 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
that is, it's their mid-level package, and it's really a great package.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, I think what Sage was speaking to, like, or what the note that she had sent me that I was referring to when she said that it was lower, is because often people will have to have another system to be able to have a member site and add those pieces in.
That makes sense. We're saving a lot by having everything in one place. That's exactly right. Makes sense.
That's more it.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thanks, Junie. Mwah. Thanks for your question. All right, that was so quick. Let's grab one more here. Erin Guthrie.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, 2 questions. So if I wanted to do a quiz, it's kind of it would be 2 parts, right? Because are you ready for your first triathlon? And then they would take the quiz, and then they would get a follow-up, which would be like the results, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know where else to go from there. So, So
well, what's your question about it?
So like, if I wanted to do something like a quiz, are you ready for your first triathlon? Take this questionnaire. So they take the questionnaire, and then they get the results. First of all, is there a place to look for in Leverage library to create the quiz, like how to set that up?
We do have some pieces around quiz in the library, but also there's a link to Sage's quiz in the handout that I was screen sharing.
Oh,
so
today?
the handout that was just for this, yes. So there's a link that you can see that quiz. But what we recommend mostly for quizzes is something called Try Interact.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just a simple quiz system, but it needs to hook up to your email provider. So again, that system for a quiz needs to hook up to something like Kajabi or Ontraport or MailChimp. It needs somewhere to send all those emails.
I have Infusionsoft.
Okay. Yeah. So you can probably link it up to Infusionsoft too, but just having that having the quiz system, because it's a little different, and then all of your autoresponders, emails, that'll come through Infusionsoft in your case.
Okay. And then real quick, I know we're not supposed to ask about Kajabi, but I do have to ask just one question about the membership side of it. So since I have Infusionsoft and I do everything through there, and then I have a full website that has a membership section, like for me to switch over to Kajabi just doesn't seem like a smart investment, but I guess I can ask my coach that for more details. But.
Well, Michael's here for that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I would say, so here's the thing is I have Ontraport is my main CRM, which is, they're in Infusionsoft. They're like, side by side. And I still use Kajabi for a big bulk of my work because beyond membership, it's a much easier and robust membership platform, but it's also great for online courses, and the landing pages are beautiful and easy to build. And there's so many wonderful aspects of Kajabi that I wouldn't live without it.
Okay. That helps a lot. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Erin. Of course. Thanks, Erin. Let's blow you a kiss. Mwah. All right. So Michael, I'm going to hand it over to you to dive into more Kajabi things. We see your questions or raised hands over there. I'll be looping back around, and Michael will be looping back around to those questions. And I'm sure there's going to be more. If your question gets answered as Michael is talking, of course, you can just take your hand down and we'll know that that's handled. But otherwise, Michael, do you want to dive into some Kajabi?
Absolutely. And I think it's probably a good idea to preface it with some basic terminology in the background. So one, as someone had asked on there, what is a CRM? CRM is Customer Relationship Manager. And so while you may want, oh, great, I got an opt-in page and you're collecting emails. Well, what do you do with those emails? So now you have these leads, and that's where the CRM comes into play, customer relationship management of all these emails that you've collected. And of course, there are a variety of them out there. You just heard us talking about Infusionsoft and Ontraport, and Kajabi is now a full-fledged CRM. That's what makes it great, is it's kind of an all-in-one spot for you. So it replaces MailChimp. If you're already using something like MailChimp or Aweber or any other email manager, it actually will do that in addition to being able to do all the other elements. And so I just want to give a quick overview of the stuff that Kajabi can do. And first and foremost, Kajabi was a online course platform, which it is masterful at it. It's very robust at that. So if you're planning to ever do an online course, this is a great place to store it and to make it available to your customers. Membership site as well. It's great for memberships. Beyond that, then, as it grew, they became excellent landing page builders. And so when I started seeing how good their landing pages were, I got rid of lead pages because I could do that in Kajabi as well. And it wasn't probably only about a year and a half, about 2 years ago, they started in the email marketing side, which is your CRM. So now you can actually do your email automation through there. So as Megan is talking about, somebody opts in for your free gift. Well, now you have, within Kajabi, you can set up an email automation system, your autoresponder, to reply to these people and keep that engagement going. And so that's built in to there as well. A couple of other really cool features are affiliate tracking. Now, I know for some of you that are maybe just starting out, you're not looking yet at joint ventures. And so this is maybe for more of the high level, but as you're looking to partner with people to promote your stuff, you're going to need to be able to track where those leads coming from your JV partners, joint ventures. And Kajabi has that built in. And then finally, your shopping cart. So I know a lot of you, if you're using a WordPress site or some other site, you may have built a shopping cart in there. Kajabi can handle all of that right there. So it'll collect your payments from people too. And you can set it up with, recurring payments or one-time payments, however you want to work it. So it is super robust, and that's one of the big reasons that I love Kajabi so much. So hopefully that addressed some of the questions that I saw in the box over at Facebook. And I don't know, Megan, should I jump into just doing some stuff in Kajabi, or do you think we should see if there are any more questions now that I've kind of broad stroked it?
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, we can check in with the hands that are raised here to see oh, yeah, they're flying up now. So we'll see, Michael, what you're going to be teaching. So if we start to get into too much of where you're headed, then we can always just dive in there, but we'll take a few more questions. I love that you're so active. All right, Ashley Moon, how about you? I'm going to lower your hand. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi. It might be a little bit more of what you were addressing earlier, but definitely relevant to what Michael was sharing too. My question is, first, if the free gift is a discovery session, then I'm not needing to go and make checklists and all of that right now, right?
Right. So yeah, if your free gift is a discovery session for you, you could just have that be the one that you're working on right now. Okay. Yeah, you don't need to do both right now.
And then I signed up for the free, thank you, for the free Kajabi trial, and I'm ready to just get to it this week. So I'm guessing because I currently have a GoDaddy website and a MailChimp for email and WordPress for the free gift, which is currently a checklist, but it doesn't integrate and it's a headache. So I think I'm just going to build the Kajabi and then scratch all that. Does that sound like reasonable, Michael?
Yeah, it does. And as a matter of fact, even though I don't use it for this, your whole website could be built in Kajabi.
I'm ready for a landing page. I've got a basic website that has a few things, but I want to do like what we're talking about and just.
Yeah, Kajabi would be great for it.
So should I start with an image and then once I have a video, I could replace the image with the video?
Yep, you can do that.
And can it be?
We'll actually do some sample
right
pages in Kajabi today. Can it be what?
pretty DIY video right now.
Yeah.
Since we're at home.
I would say that's more of a question for Megan.
Yeah.
How you like to style your videos.
Could you be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the question?
If the free gift is a discovery session and then it's just the basic info that you talked about, is it, you had said we could use a photo or a video?
Yeah, so the example that Sage had on that handout was just whatever is simple for you. So it could be the handout, it could be, or I'm not the handout. I was trying to answer someone else who's looking for the handout. That's why I missed yours. So so you could be the picture just at the top of the page, like a picture of you, or a picture of the ideal kind of client. So Sage has the freedom schedule, for instance, and she has someone that's not her, but just from the back, sitting in a beach chair with their arms up, like looking out at the ocean. So you could use a stock image photo there as well. Or you can make a video that's just 2 minutes or less, and that is focused on giving them a call to action.
Okay, and when it comes to the languaging, I should just go over that with my coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a perfect thing to use a session for.
Okay, great. Thanks, y'all.
Great. Yeah, you're welcome. Let's give you a kiss. Mwah. All right.
There's a couple more questions that popped in on Facebook that I
great.
think are viable, so I'd like to address those real quickly. One of them, Michelle, is asking, is an opt-in page just a layer of our website? In other words, if someone looks at my website, will my opt-in page be there? I would say on your website, I wouldn't even consider it an opt-in page. Like Megan was saying earlier, like right as soon as someone lands on your home page, above the fold should be some form of an opportunity for them to opt in. On my side, it's like, get your free report on podcasting right here. Now, that is not an opt-in page. It's just a little square, what's called a widget in the WordPress world, where if someone clicks yes, boom, then it takes them to the page where they sign up. So you want to have that initial link for them to have that opportunity to opt in somewhere on your homepage. So hopefully that answers your question about that. And then for Kajabi, your further question is, would I use Kajabi for my podcast page? I don't use Kajabi for any of my podcast pages. I use WordPress sites very specifically because WordPress allows you to build really cool players for your podcast. And so that's a whole different story, but I use Kajabi for so much else. Then the other question is about Webflow. Would it be better to switch my whole website platform to Kajabi? And how about migrating from ActiveCampaign and similar programs? Migrating your people, your list, if you've got it already in some other MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, or wherever, it's very easy to transfer that over. You create what's called a CSV file. It's just a very easy Excel list of all of your people, and you just load it in. So it's very easy to do. Another question, do they have a scheduling app for clients? I don't think Kajabi is good as far as a scheduler goes. I recommend either Calendly or Acuity or Schedule One, someone else, but it is very easy to put the links in there and have it work well together. So that shouldn't be a problem there. Natalie, I have Infusionsoft already. Why would I need to get Kajabi to complement Infusionsoft? Well, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I have Ontraport, which is just like Infusionsoft, and I still have Kajabi because there are things that it does, like, you know, membership groups, online courses, and much easier to build a beautiful landing page, I think, in Kajabi than it is in Ontraport or Infusionsoft. And you can design on, well, the next question, can you design on Kajabi like Canva? We'll go in that and you'll get to see. You still maybe want to do your pictures in Canva, and then you just put them into Kajabi on the pages and it'll make it look good. All right. Megan, did you find another question over there that needs to be?
Well, yeah, there's lots of questions on there, and I know that we're answering. I know, let's see. So Ingrid is saying, I've been playing around with a lead page without much success. I'm wondering whether a discovery session for someone who doesn't know me yet is too quick. And I was playing with the idea of a freebie first. So yes, I mean, one of the things that we share is that people need multiple touch points often before they're ready to jump into that. So the reason we were suggesting to go ahead and just make an opt-in for people to get a discovery session is it is something you need. Like, you need a way for people to book that free session with you as one of the fastest ways to get new clients. So for those of you who don't have anything up yet, it's a great thing to be able to direct people to, even when you're in conversation. Maybe someone's DMing you on Instagram, or you're messaging with someone on Facebook and you say, hey, go here and you can book a session with me. You're in conversation already. So that's why we recommend doing that. But as far as a cold lead, someone that hasn't had interaction with you, it is great to be able to have an opt-in of a free gift and those kind of simple things. So great question, Ingrid. And let's see, other ones. I see, Michael, you answered a few. So, and I see other people asking about the discovery session versus the free gift. So hopefully that answered for a few of you there. And Michelle says, is an opt-in page just a layer of our website? In other words, is someone looking up my website and then they will see an opt-in page there, or is it a separate page? Is Kajabi what I will use for my website, or is that separate? So is that the one you answered, Michael?
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it might be worthwhile to show a sample to like give them a look at what it would look like.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So why don't we do that? I'll do a screen share here, and I will show you how I do things on my website, mixing up WordPress with Kajabi. All right, so let me share my screen here. All right, so this is my website, and you can see right here where it says live event, PodQuest Live. That is called a widget, and you see it's above the fold, and people can learn more about my live event coming up in September right there. Immediately below that is another freebie. Okay, this is the free report that I offer. People can download it now. So you want to have, and it's also important, I think, to have multiple lead magnets. I'm sure that they'll talk to you about that in your training. But this, as you see, is because I host podcasts. This is the latest episode of my show, and you see I've got a podcast player right there. But now let's talk about Kajabi. So up top here in my menu bar, if you click on coaching, this coaching page is actually built in Kajabi. So now from my menu bar, I've taken them to a Kajabi page. And I've matched the menu bar up top so that if people want to go back to my website, they can. But I want to show you here the different options that you have. So this page, this is entirely built in Kajabi. This is basically all the different ways to work with me. And you see these that say speak with Michael. So if someone clicks on that link, it takes them to my Calendly to offer them a call where we can talk about it if they want to get the rates on that. Okay, but they also have options to just enroll now. So you see, this is a kind of page you can create in Kajabi, and then if someone were to click to home in this page, boom, it takes them right back to my official WordPress site. So this is a way that you could even have both. You can create it where it works both ways. So I wanted to just demonstrate quickly a WordPress site integrated with Kajabi pages. So hopefully that is helpful for explaining some of that. Do you think, Megan, should I jump into Kajabi a little bit and show some of the other stuff within there, or should we try to do a little more Q&A? You're muted.
Thank you. Yes, let's dive into that, and then we can come back around for more questions, because I think it can be helpful to see the visual as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's go into, I'm going to share a Kajabi page. Now, what I'm going to be sharing with you here in Kajabi is I'm in the process of building a whole new program. And so you will get to see kind of what it would look like in the raw. So I'm creating a thing called the Podcasters Playground, which is going to be kind of a mastermind membership site. But the bottom line is that I want to show in Kajabi here is the layout. So you see over here in our left column, you have all the different pieces that you can do all the way down to your different store down here. website, like I said, you could build your whole website within Kajabi, but I'm not necessarily saying that you should do that right now, but you should consider it if you want to make it your be all. But let's just look at pages, okay? Because it seems like a lot of people are asking about landing pages and opt-in pages. So here we go. You go in and you want to create your first page. So you tell it to create a page, and it has a bunch of lovely templates. And it even gives you some options already. Here's a streamlined opt-in page. Here's a video opt-in page, since many of you were asking about that. So you pull from a template, and so we'll say, let's use this one. Let's use this one. It's just a basic opt-in page. And we're going to call this basic opt-in. Takes a little moment to install that theme, and then again, it's completely customizable. And by the way, you could start entirely from scratch if you want to just build everything from scratch, but it is nice to have these templates in here. And so here's where you would put in your text. Now, the unique thing about Kajabi that I actually kind of like is that when you click on the edit of a box over here, it brings the box over to the left, and this is where you actually do the work. Okay, and then we can tell all about it down below. I'm not going to worry about typos and stuff. I'm just going to peck fast so that we can get to the meat of the stuff. So this is the leverage opt-in. So whatever you want to say about it there, you just say about it. You can click here and you can add video if you choose to make it a video. You can select an image. I'll just see if instead of uploading new stuff, I'll just select some files that I've worked with recently. Here's one from this Podcaster's Playground. So let's say we put that in there as a background image. Okay, and it'll take a little second for that to go. And then that image, you can see it mildly in the background there. Very simply, you go over here to your background colors, and we can actually make that more, give it a little more opacity so you can start to see the image behind it. You could remove this color altogether if you'd rather have that artwork just be popping out, but you want the text to stand out, so you may want to have a little bit of a cover over it. Okay, and now here is where you would have what it is that you're having them do. So you can have it join a free trial. Let's just call it get my free report, and learn all you need to know today. So whatever you want to put about your stuff, you just type that in there. Now here's the deal, as you can see here, this says click here to select a form to display. Very simply, within Kajabi, they have a default form, and we're going to go ahead and use that, but you can create unique forms. Your forms could have a whole series of questions of things you may want to ask, but the basic one simply asks for first name, email. For the most part, that's all your opt-ins really need. Collect their first name and their email, and I know some people who don't even collect a name. They just go right for the email. Then once people do submit, what do you want to happen? And by the way, you can change that button where it doesn't say submit. You can say, give it to me now. Whatever you want to do, you just change the button. You can change your button color in here, button background color, button color. And the other thing you can do is you can tell it, what do you want it to do once people say, give it to me? This is where you can send them to a specific URL. You can send them to a landing page, which would be your thank you page. You could send them directly to a sales page. Whatever you want to do, you tell them what, the process. You set it up to what you want to happen after. Down below, you can add more features. Each of these blocks is a separate cool thing. And so just real quickly, we'll go into what a block looks like and how easy it is to use Kajabi. So right now you see this portion here, which is the opt-in. We have a column setting up here. We can actually change that if we want to make it wider. We can tell it, make it 8 columns, because it divides your width of your page into 12ths. Okay, so think of it like a ruler, 12 inches. And so we're going to make this 8/12, but notice how now it put it below this. Well, it's because this block is 5/12. 8 and 5 is equal to 13. That's too many, goes over the 12. But if we drop that to 4, it'll keep them both in the same line. 4/12, 8/12. So you have that control to manipulate the sizing of the stuff that you have there. We're going to put this back up to, let's do 6, and let's change this one to 6 as well. It just puts them a little tighter together, but each one now has 6. So there's a lot you can do to play around with that makes it super simple. If you've got some really cool stuff you want to say about your free opt-in, you can put that here. If you don't need to say anything else about it, notice here when we click on this, it gives us this whole box, which is a whole bunch of features. This is a feature column setting. But if we wanted to, we could get rid of that section in its entirety. Just click delete that section. And now we have another type of a section here. And this is a text and image section. We're going to delete that as well, just so you can see. And now when we're at our mainframe, you see these are all of the segments. And so if we were to look at this, this is our hero with form. That's what this section is called. If your pages are getting big and you want to organize a little better, you could rename this, and we could call this, instead of hero with form, we could call it your opt-in box. So you can rename your segments, which makes it real easy to look at where you're at. And then these are each of the other blocks. We've got a text and image. We've got an FAQ grid, which is kind of cool. If your people have a lot of questions, you can go in here and you can edit. What is this frequently asked question number 1? Or actually, let's just make it a simple one. When will I receive a free gift? Now I'm just making this up, but you could have whatever question you want to put there. Again, I can't stand up misspelled words, so I had to fix it. And then below, you would put in your answer. Real soon. And so now as a sample, let's go ahead and save our work. But if someone were to now click this, it'll open that up and it'll show their answer to these questions. And so you can put a whole frequently asked questions segment here. And you could even have another call to action down at the bottom. My recommendation, I'm not sure how Megan and your coaches teach you there, but for the opt-in page, you want to keep it super simple. You want to just remember it has one objective: collect their name and email. Don't put a whole lot. You don't want to confuse them. You're giving it to them for free. Keep it short and sweet, and I think you'll get a higher conversion. All right, so I think that's enough for starters on this, so that we make sure to check in with everybody and they're not overwhelmed. So I'll stop the share and we'll see how it's going out there.
All right, let's see other questions that are popping up here. Well, let's go. Taya had her hand up for a while. Taya Valentina, I'm gonna lower your hand. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, hi. That was a little while back. Right now, I have Constant Contact with GoDaddy and Wix all put together. And I think Wix is done in September. I guess it's the same kind of question. I mean, they all work together, right? And they're all talking to one another and set up. So can Wix how do you say it?
Combine?
No. What's the name of this that we're working with?
Kajabi?
Kajabi. I can't even say it. Kabaji? Kajabi work as well as Wix and Constant Contact and GoDaddy combined?
At first glance, I would say it'll blow them away. And you've got it all in one right there. I've had clients that I've worked with who they've tried to manage their email through Wix, and it's not a very user-friendly, easy to apply. Right. You can't do as many automations. It doesn't have the robust capabilities that Kajabi does.
Well, Wix is connected to Constant Contact, so when people sign up,
got it. So you're just popping them in.
This was all from my yoga studio, and now I've just changed the name. So now I'm transferring it to Taya Valentina, my private. And I'm just trying to look at the cost of stuff, but also I used to have Mind Body when I had the yoga studio, and that was part of it. That was the membership site, right? And that was like $130 a month. So I don't have that anymore because I sold that business.
Mm-hmm.
but you're saying Kabaji. I'll get to it.
Don't worry about it.
It has the capacities of Mind Body as well, which is a membership site.
Oh,
and,
totally.
And also, okay.
Yeah, Kajabi is great for membership sites. I run my membership sites through there. I run my year-long training program through there. I run my online course through there. I use Kajabi for pretty much every aspect of my business. Like Megan was saying, we've even set up summits within Kajabi.
Okay, so
really versatile.
I've already prepaid till September with Wix. And so I don't really want to jump, but I am paying like $45 a month for Constant Contact. So I'm just I'll sit with this as I'm moving forward.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely still switch it over, you know, later in the year. And also you might want to look at, like, what are you paying for Wix a month?
Well, it's prepaid for the year, so I'm done in September.
Yeah.
And so can I still get the if I wait till September, do I need to sign up now to get the free coaching and all of that?
So what Sage was saying was in the next 3 months. But what I'm saying is, like, I know I've made those kinds of changes before on other website platforms, and what it ended up being was $10 a month or something like that. And so if you look at the breakdown, it may just not matter to make the changeover if you're going to anyway, and you're going to be building out more opt-ins and more for your email list. You're already paying for Constant Contact. So I would just look at some numbers for you and be able to make that decision of what makes sense.
Yeah, and let me add a little bit to that as well, because there's some other questions coming in around this too. I'm not suggesting that you use Kajabi as your website. I'm saying that you can use Kajabi as your website. Someone else had asked because they're currently on Squarespace. What Kajabi is best at, what they're strongest at, is landing pages, membership, online course, and they're super strong at now CRM. So I don't use them for my website purposes, but because WordPress is great for that. And if you like Squarespace, stick with Squarespace, but just think of Kajabi as your bigger platform. And if you want to switch over, you can.
So you can have your website with them.
You can, yeah.
I mean, and the way I just saw you move things around, I mean, I do my own upgrades on Wix, and it's not as user-friendly as what I just saw you do.
Yeah, Kajabi is so easy. It's so user-friendly. I love it.
But why don't you use Kajabi for your website?
Well, one of the primary reasons for me, which is actually leads to another question that someone had asked in the notes there, Susan Proctor had asked about why I prefer WordPress for my podcast. So I host 4 different podcasts. And for a podcast, what makes WordPress great is because it is what's called open source, people can create all these really cool plugins. So I have really awesome plugins that work within that make the podcast player easy for me. Like I can even automate. I post it to my hosting platform, boom, it gets put to my website. Kajabi would be a little more work for me to make all of those things happen. Quite honestly, it'd be a lot more work to make all of those things happen that are so easy within WordPress. So because I'm a podcaster, that's important.
Right. So eventually that's on my bucket list to do a podcast, but I also want to be doing the videos and the dance and things like that and meditation. So is that the same kind of thing as a podcast with Kajabi? Like better to stay with with Wix? Because I have a graphic artist or a web designer that if she's going to work with me, she wants to work with Squarespace. I was thinking of hiring her.
Yeah, well, my recommendation for anybody who's starting a podcast, and I talked to Megan about this when she was looking at starting hers, because Megan was always a big Squarespace user and I was always WordPress. And so if you're starting a podcast and you're looking at potential websites, I would avoid Squarespace and Wix and some of those others and go with WordPress because of the flexibility and the options that you have. It's super podcaster friendly.
Okay.
So that'd be my
I know we're getting off the topic of that, but at least I'm trying to gather the information.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Taya. I'll give you a kiss. Mwah. I'm wondering, Erica, if you're reading questions, because I know you're over on the page too, if you want to read out any of the questions that are coming through here that Michael and I could address as well, and then we'll hop back over to hands, but sometimes it can be faster to just dive into the question too, and then we'll see what's left. Do you still have any?
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, I can now.
Okay, sorry, I was muted. So I was just answering someone, they were asking about the difference between the opt-in page, the landing page, and your home page.
Okay, so the difference between, so the home page is your first page of your website, and that's the one that'll have other tabs and places to go. And a landing page would be for your program, for your offerings, like you're letting people know, here's what your whole year-long program looks like, for instance, or what it looks like to coach with you for a 6-month package. And an opt-in is just what Michael was showing, like just a simple thing where you're saying, grab this free gift, go ahead and claim this now.
And let me just add another piece to this, and I can show a screen share on it as well. Your opt-in doesn't even have to be its own page. It can be what's called a pop-up box. And so I'm going to share just again on my screen here on my homepage. If someone clicks to download my free report on launching a podcast, they simply click download now, and it's a pop-up. And so now from this pop-up, they can sign up right there. So that's another way to create an opt-in. And you can do this within Kajabi as well. You can create it where it's just a pop-up that someone then just fills out your form, but they're still staying on your page, which is either your landing page or your home page.
Okay, great. Here, Yvette, can you confirm, does Kajabi have an in-platform payment processor? I had been planning to use Thinkific, but haven't started. I want to determine the differences between features and pricing.
Yes, great question. And one of the things that I also love about Kajabi versus some of these other platforms like Thinkific or Teachable or some of the others, many of them want to collect money on how much you make. So in other words, every sale you make, you're paying a commission. You do not do that in Kajabi. Kajabi, you can collect payments through PayPal or Stripe or potentially some other integrated payment platform. But the only fees you're paying are whatever it costs you to use PayPal or Stripe, which is 2.9% basic merchant services fee. You don't pay additional for any money that is collected. Kajabi is just a flat rate.
Yeah, that's a great benefit.
Okay, Sarah says, can I use Kajabi for 2 different businesses' website, or is that extra?
I think in the platform that the mid-level one, I think you are allowed 3 businesses, but let me go to their page and double check. Let's see real fast.
So while Michael double checks that, I know we've had questions in the past from, from some of you who are trying to do dual language offerings, and they did, for Kajabi, we did see that you need to have a different, a different setup, like traditionally for one language, like it's all set in English, for instance. If you're going to have something in another language, it's another whole set of opting in. I know that one of our clients did get to figure that out and directly contacted them about her need to have it in dual language, but it was going to be the same program, and they okayed it for her and had her set that up because it was the same offering, the same program in different languages. So for any of you that have that.
Yeah. Okay, so I just did a check in the Kajabi pricing page, and I had to keep myself updated on it because I've been with Kajabi so long. I actually have a grandfathered plan that they don't even have available anymore. But with the growth package, which is their most popular, that's the mid-level plan, you get just one website. If you want to have more than that, you can go to the Pro plan, which is right around the $300 a month range, and you're allowed 3. And literally, when you go to set these up, they even say, is this a separate business? Because it's almost like having multiple businesses. And so it's worthwhile. If you're going to really, if they are two kind of separate businesses, then you may want to look at getting the pro plan.
Great. More questions, Erica?
Yes. Leanne asks, if one is not able to invest in Kajabi payments every month, is there an opt-in page that can be created that is part of our existing website provider, or a free app for opt-ins?
I would say the bottom line for opt-ins is, where are you putting the emails? Because let's say, as an example, you're an Aweber user, which is where I started out when I first started my business and was building my list. Aweber, you create an opt-in within Aweber, and that gives you, they'll allow you to create what's called the code from it. You copy that code and you put that on your website. That's what connects the two. So now that opt-in form is sitting on your website. When someone fills it out, it puts the name and email into Aweber. I don't know, other than I know Wix can do it. I'm not super familiar with other sites that actually collect and manage your email with the website. That's a very different ball game. And for the most part, like I said, with Wix, it is not robust. It's, just collecting emails is easy. What are you going to do with them? How do you tag them to know who did what? Where are they in your customer journey? How do you set them up with an automation of mail sequence that keeps it in the right order? All this stuff. You need that robustness at some point as your business grows. So just collecting them to the website alone is, I don't think it's going to be very effective.
So there's a couple people who are asking, they thought Kajabi was going to be covered at the end, and they're wondering if you will be covering any other tech topics like Facebook Live or other platforms.
So we're diving into some of those questions. And so we wanted to be able to look at, Facebook Live wasn't a focus of today. The focus is opt-ins. So setting up opt-in pages and free gifts. And that's a thing that we'll spend some more time on this morning. We're just seeing what are the questions that you have in this range. And I know for many of you, you've got a lot going on with Kajabi for sure, but we can head back over to the hands that are raised and see again what questions you might have about setting up your opt-in pages for, optimizing these. And again, in the afternoon, we'll cover more with demoing and all of that. Anything else you wanted to mention about that, Michael?
No, I think it sounds like a good plan.
Okay, great.
Oh, and Cindy here says, Michael, you said you have Entreport and Kajabi. How do you merge the contacts, your list, if you run campaigns on both?
What I do is actually, Entreport is where I keep all of my email lists, except for one thing that I offer. I have a membership group called the Hive Community, and that is the only one that I actually use the email list within Kajabi, because it is a relatively small group and it is unique to just that community. But for the most part, I do all of my email efforts in Entreport because of the robust campaign and sequencing system that you have in there. Kajabi keeps getting better, by the way. I'm looking for the day that maybe at some point, because I'm paying like $300 a month for both of these, so it's $600 a month going out the door. I'm looking forward to the day when Kajabi actually gets their CRM as robust as what Entreport is, and then maybe I'll blend and just go all to Kajabi.
And I would say that for many of you, it is robust enough for what you're up to. Michael has a lot of different segments of his business. And so that's part of it, that when he's trying to have different kinds of programs and people coming to him for podcasting or for a community member, forum, or for more business coaching and different podcasts even that he has. So a lot of different places that people could be tapping in through. For most of you, you have one thing and that's your focus.
Yeah.
And so you're just with that. So I want to head over to some of the raised hands here, unless, are there any more ones that are more about just opt-in or free gifts, Erica, that you're seeing?
There's a
And-
couple asking about the podcasting. Misha here says, if I understand, Kajabi would not be able to host my podcast, nor would it be something I can use for scheduling.
Yeah, I was just typing a little bit of an answer to that, but since you're bringing it up live, it's probably easier for me to speak to. That's a comparison of apples and oranges. Podbean is a podcast hosting platform. My podcast hosting platform is Libsyn. It's totally different. That is a syndication tool. That's where you upload your podcast to, and it gets blasted out into the podosphere, so everybody can have it on all of their players and Apple Podcasts and Spotify and everywhere else. Very, very different than what Kajabi is. Kajabi is more of an all-in-one platform for people to find you, your landing pages, collecting money. You know, it's very, very different than a hosting platform for a podcast.
All right, great question. All right, Rose Amory, you've had your hand up for a while. Let's see, what's your question?
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I had been playing around with the Kajabi a little bit to make an email campaign and then do a follow-up email for one of my previous events. And I think I figured it out, but I had added these people manually because with the trial version, it wouldn't let me add the CSV form. And what I had failed to do was like click that they had subscribed, and so to my email list. And so when I went to email the response form, it said, "Oh, you don't have any contacts." So I was kind of frustrated by that for a while, but then I deleted that contact, and then when I re-added them and said, "Oh yes, they did subscribe to my emails," then now they're appearing. So I don't know if there's an easy way to go from non-subscribed to subscribed, but I don't have a lot on there because I just put them on manually. So I'm just gonna re-upload them.
Michael, do you have I know you need to unmute yourself, but an answer about that because it's Kajabi specific.
Got it. I may have to have you repeat that. I was replying to somebody
Okay.
on Facebook there.
This
Sorry,
is
one more time, Rose.
So basically, if you sign somebody up as not subscribed to you, is there an easy way to mark that they are subscribed? No.
In Kajabi?
Yeah.
Yeah, so within Kajabi, as a matter of fact, let's take another little quickie. We'll go into Kajabi. I'll share that screen and show another little bit about the people management. Because a lot of the questions now seem to be about, well, can I do collect names in my WordPress site? And again, I want to just reiterate that collecting names is one thing. What do you do with them once they're collected? And you want to have a robust system that's going to allow you to set up email marketing campaigns. So first, let's talk to Rose's question there. So you have your people controller here. There are no people in this page yet because I've just started this setup. But let's say you go into add people. And so let's add Rose.
Yeah, you can go ahead and add me, rose@roseamaro.com. That's Rose with an E.
Oh, my bad fingers here. Okay, Rosa. And you can also, as you're adding somebody, you can add tags. And where tags become important. Now, might get a little bit more high level, but I'm going to try to keep it simple. When someone signs up for a free gift, let's say you have multiple lead magnets. Well, you might want to at some point go, I want to send an email to everybody who I gave this free report to. And therefore, you can make it tag them when they sign up that it says they got this free report. So I'm going to call this free podcasting report. So I'm going to, and this is a new tag. It's never been in here. This is a whole new site. So, but we had it the first time, boom. So now I'm also giving it this tag that says I gave Rose this free podcasting report. And so now it'll remember that. I can click here to subscribe her to marketing emails. Now, because I am manually entering her, I have to certify that I've gathered the proper permission to send marketing emails to this email address, and you're all my witnesses that she said it was okay. So we'll check that box. Now someone had asked about moving your sites over. You can import multiple people here with the CSV file, CSV's comma separated value. You can use it to import your entire list into here. But now what we've done is
not in our free trial. It wouldn't let me.
Oh, not for a free trial. Yeah, for importing multiple, it's got to be like preset for something already kind of done. Okay, so now we just added Rose. Now it gives me all these details about her. It tells the life cycle. She's been a member for less than a minute. She hasn't purchased anything yet nor spent any money with me. I can click on info. It tells the date that she was added and that she's currently subscribed to email marketing, but I could also unsubscribe her if she doesn't unsubscribe herself. Purchases, this will tell me if she's purchased anything. And if she has, what are those products? And then I can write in notes about it. Rose talked to me on a video call. Add note. So when I mentioned earlier what a CRM is, customer relationship manager, this is what it's all about. This is where you're tracking and knowing what's going on with this customer. You write in notes that you've talked with this person. There are more actions here. I could grant her an offer. There are no offers yet created in here, but let's say ultimately you have multiple offers. Well, you can just give these to people if you want to. If someone signs up, or maybe they pay you directly and you just go, you know what, yeah, I'm going to put this offer out to there. You can add more tags. You can do all types of stuff. And you can actually go in here and I can edit her details even. If I get her phone number, address, any of these other details, which maybe she fills out, you know, on one of the forms. So this is where you manage your people. This is another cool thing I want to just quickly as an aside, because we're in this people segment here. You see over here, assessments. This is really cool. You can actually create your quizzes in here, and you can give, if you've got someone in a program, you can make it where they have to complete the assessment before they get the next module of your training. So it's really cool to monitor where people are in their progress as well. So that's a cool feature. And here's where you would track your affiliates. All right, so hopefully that answered that piece of it. And Rose, your question was, can you unsubscribe somebody? What was, did I answer
Well,
yours?
when I added them initially, I didn't push the subscribe button, click, and actually there's no way to change that.
When you go here, does it allow you to change it?
You can unsubscribe it, but that's
But you can't subscribe it.
Right, that's not.
You'll probably have to enter them again.
Yeah.
And that's part of the whole compliance laws around the Anti-Can Spam Act and all of that stuff.
And then just really quick, I know that you can maybe answer this later, but you're doing this podcast training later for the Women Rocking Business. And I'm curious, since I've already taken that training, I'm wondering if there's any other perks for someone like me. Okay, thank you.
You mean for people who are signing up for Kajabi?
No, for the podcast training, that's part of the leverage program that you'll be adding later, right?
Oh, got it. Right. I see what you're saying, because
so
of
I've
that got
already
thrown in.
taken all my money and paid for that program.
Right,
so
right.
I'm just curious if for people that have already done that, if there's any.
That's a Megan question.
Yeah. So we can come back to that at some point.
Yeah, I mean, as far as, well, the perks of listening in on that training, I mean, for people who already have a podcast like you, Rose, it's not, you've already done that piece, so that's not necessary. That's more of like, I would say, well, the perks are that if you're in Michael's Zero to Launch class, so for those of you who have that as a bonus and you're going to get it, I think it's at the end of May that'll be coming in for you, then you'll be able to be a part of Michael's Q&A that he holds for his clients as well, so that you can have that extra podcast tech support in that realm. All right. Yeah. So let's hop into some more questions of hands raised. And again, like, I know for some of you, you were joining because you wanted to just have more support around opt-ins, and you're not sure about Kajabi yet. So some of these questions are not going to apply to you specifically, and I encourage you to raise your hand if you've got those questions for us now, so I know that you want to get this in the morning segment here. You've got other tech questions that you need support with, especially around the opt-in pages and landing pages aspect. All right, Ida Green, let's hear your question. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Ida. it'll work for you. I have a lot of screens going, so I can't unmute you because there's 11 screens of people here on my side. So you need to unmute yourself if you're ready to go. And if not, we will come back to you and you can raise your hand again. All right, I'm going to come back to you, Ida. Cindy, how about you? Cindy Watson?
Hello there, thanks.
Hello.
A couple of questions to follow up from the question that Michael that you just answered. So I keep going to, at the beginning, I jumped right in and did Infusionsoft, probably way too early before I was ready for it at all. Found it super confusing and chaotic. Then through Brennan Burchard, had a chance to get in Kajabi, jumped in Kajabi. Back at the time, crappy customer service. I hear they've gotten a lot better, so I guess that's one question. And they're offering way more now. But then I went back to Infusionsoft. So I now have about 2,000 people, so not a ton, but on the list. So I guess I'm asking, is it worth it, to be making that transition to Kajabi if, as you're saying, Michael, like Ontraport and Infusionsoft and those ones do have more robust systems, or it sounds like it doesn't probably make sense for me to keep both Kajabi and Infusionsoft. And I know the web designer keeps saying about how Kajabi takes sort of ownership. So instead of being able to develop my brand, everything that gets put out there is Kajabi as opposed to Cindy Watson or Art of Feminine Negotiation. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what to believe anymore, so I guess I'm asking for it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So let me address those. And that's a great question, by the way. So first off, it is getting more and more robust. The customer service is getting better, and they just keep adding stuff. That's the other thing I love about Kajabi is like they just keep adding and more that you're not paying any more for. You're in, and they just keep, it gets better and better. And so that part is really good, and they're working to make it more robust and better. The other thing about whether to switch, yeah, I mean, at some point I will switch, but here's the other piece of it. If you're using Infusionsoft's full capacity, like I really feel like I tap into a lot of the capacity of Ontraport that Kajabi is a long way from having. But if you're not using those extra cool features, then yeah, Kajabi could handle it all for you. And when I say extra cool features, there's a campaign feature within Kajabi that it even tracks conversion along the way. So it's like you can say first person goes here, then they do this and this, and how many people converted and did this and how many didn't. And so that's really cool stuff if you use it. But I know a lot of people who don't. So.
Okay. All right. And what about the ownership piece? Because that's the thing I keep hearing.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff about that.
That's just a button switch you can toggle in there when you're at the right level. For the lowest price one, I don't think you're allowed to remove it, but at the higher levels, you can remove the Powered by Kajabi button. It's one of the settings.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah. You got it.
Great question, Cindy. Let's give you a kiss. Mwah. All right. Dr. Leah Meadows. How about you?
I love that we're getting all these podcaster people here. It's awesome.
Hey, yeah, so my question, I guess, is about that too with the podcast. So I have a WordPress site, but I also have ClickFunnels. So the ClickFunnels is set up on the WordPress site. And I was going to switch everything over to the ClickFunnels, but decided not to do that because I want to keep the WordPress for the podcast to make it easier. So ClickFunnels, though, from what I've just gone through recently, it seems like it can do almost the exact same thing as Kajabi, including all of the, like you could set up all of your trainings and everything in there too. So Michael, do you have any?
Yeah, I would say, let me just do a quick little background of the history of some of this. It might make all this make more sense to everybody. ClickFunnels started out as kind of a funneling page. It was like how to direct people from one page to the next in an upsell process, and that they were masterful at that. Kajabi started out as a membership site online course platform, and they're masterful at that. Ontraport started as a customer relationship manager email marketing. So each of these, and by the way, 5 to 10 years ago, maybe even just 6 years ago or so, most of these platforms, they each did one thing great, but then you would have to cobble a whole bunch of different platforms together. Well, as they saw the challenges with that, all of these companies now started saying, how can we become a do-it-all platform? which is what ClickFunnels is also moving towards, much like Kajabi is, and those two are very similar in nature.
Okay.
So, I mean, even like I've played with ClickFunnels, even their building stuff is very similar.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So no big differences there.
Okay, thank you.
But except that Kajabi is way better as far as online course and membership stuff.
Okay.
Far and away.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, beautiful. Let's give you a kiss, Leah. Mwah. Thanks for your questions. All right, let's see. Michelle Sophia.
Hi.
Hi.
So my question is in regards to, I know somebody said as far as multiple businesses, but in looking at how Sage is currently set up, where she has like sagelevine.com, then she has Women Rocking Business, would you call those separate businesses, or would that be able to be all on one Kajabi platform?
Well, they're not separate businesses. So actually her sagelevine.com redirects to womenrockingbusiness.com. So it's now one and the same site. And then what happens is at the bottom of the website, there's the member portal. And what Sage was sharing earlier when she was on is just that she did it in a much more complex way because this didn't exist when she built out the website or the membership site. So in this case, for all of you building out membership sites, or not just membership sites, but building out places where you can be inviting your clients in to watch the training videos and really host all of your training materials, your handouts, all of that private password protected kind of information, that can all be on Kajabi, as well as having the main pages of your website.
Oh, okay. Okay, that clears it up for me. Thank you.
Yeah, great. That was easy. Let's give you a kiss. Mwah, great question. And Jennifer Cormier, what is your question? I'm going to lower your hand.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, I know with the different levels, Michael, on that lowest level, or the mid-level, whatever, the 140 level, you were saying one business, one website. I'm wondering, as far as like landing pages, say I have one business and I want to have a couple of different landing pages. How many landing pages? Is that just one landing page? Or
oh, no, that's unlimited.
Huh?
That's unlimited. You can create unlimited landing pages.
Okay.
You can have unlimited marketing emails. Where some of the other differences come into play, which probably nobody's going to be worried about for quite a while, but in the middle package, you can have 25,000 contacts in your email list, and 10,000 active members. Now, I'm not sure how they define the difference between total contacts and active members. Maybe the active members means they're like signed up for something, but you're allowed one website and you're allowed 10 admin users too. So if you want to give your team access, all of that's in there. However, the one other feature that is limited is your products and pipelines. Now, products are, and maybe this would be a good time to share a little bit of a different page of what your products might look like. Your products can be, and I'll show you just real world example. When I created my first online course, Zero to Launch, it was Zero to Launch in 28 days. Well, then I revamped the course and I changed it to Zero to Launch in 14 days. And so each one is its own product in there. And then I have the podcast mastery video calls. And so twice a month, the calls, we do these live calls like this, and they're recorded and stored. And so there's access for that as a separate product. I've got my Authority Academy, my year-long training, and I've got a mini course I created, Launch, Grow, and Monetize Your Own Podcast with Ease. So this is just a sampling of some of the courses, which are considered each one as a product. And you are limited to 15 products at the mid-level. All right, so wanted to be sure that you got that, because while the lower level can be handy in some instances, you're limited to just 3 products and 3 pipelines, 1,000 active members, 10,000 contacts. So a little bit different there, but landing pages wide open, marketing emails wide open.
Okay, so so just to be clear, if I already have a website that I've built on Squarespace. Is there a way for me to take that, or just have to, I can use that one website on Squarespace and link it up with Kajabi, and then I can have additional landing pages through Kajabi, or do I need to have my website, right? Just like you have yours through WordPress.
Well, think of it like, yeah, if you wanted to make Kajabi your entire website, you could. Now, if you don't want to do that, and you do want a kind of hybrid crossover, just think of Kajabi as, you know, where landing pages are and opt-in pages, and then you could have the links to those pages within your Squarespace or whatever site you're creating. You could create a little widget there that says, click here for more info, and boom, it takes them to a landing page within Kajabi, not within your website.
Right, just like you showed us.
Sense? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then my question for the opt-in page, so just not having to do with Kajabi at all. And I know you're not super familiar with Squarespace, but I think this is really simple tech question that I'm asking that I'm making a really big deal, and I need like just someone to talk me down. So I have a quiz that I need to remodify. It's a PDF, very simple quiz with a photo. I just want that downloadable PDF popping up as a widget on the website I already have, but it needs to live like as a Google Doc or a URL, or it needs to live somewhere on my website. Isn't that true? It needs to be a pop-up box, plus it needs to exist somewhere. So I'm just like, I know I can watch videos, but since this was a training call, I figured it was an appropriate place for me to ask that question.
Megan, do you want to address that, or do you want me to jump in on it?
Well, Kajabi specific, you can jump in. I have a Squarespace website, so I do know about that, and I've had quizzes from that. But again, it's about integrating. And so, like I built my quiz in tryinteract.com, and then you have a link that goes to that. And similarly, if you're linking to something like from Squarespace to a member portal forum in Kajabi, you would just be putting the link right there, you know, creating a bubble. And then people click that and they get to go to the Kajabi page that you've set up.
So 2 quick questions on that. So try interact, can you spell that? And then is that something that I have to pay for that service to make my quiz?
You do have to pay for the quiz service. So it's like, I think it's $15 a month as long as you have it when you have it active. So there's a free version, but that doesn't collect the emails. So that would just be for if you were just testing. Yeah, it's just for testing it with people before you decide to make it live. So yes, so that's the answer to that. Yes, you would have to get the separate software for the quiz. The quiz is something that is more complicated. So we don't recommend it as a first stage kind of opt-in. And now I know, you know, for those of you who don't know, Jennifer's in Leverage, and so you're already at this place where you're starting to add in some more of those layers. The reason that the quiz is more complicated is because people have different answers, and then you have to create different sequences of emails from each of the answers that are specific to their responses. Whereas a normal opt-in gift of a checklist of some sort would just have one sequence of emails. So you are creating a little more work for yourself by having the quiz.
But how I created it was, I mean, it's a quiz, and they answer these 10 questions, and they can tally it up themselves.
Okay.
At the bottom of the PDF. So I'm just looking to like take the PDF and have it exist and have the pop-up box.
Then you can do all that on Kajabi. If you don't want to have it as an actual
Kajabi at all. I'm just talking about, I don't get Kajabi. I'm on Squarespace.
Okay.
I just need my quiz to live in a widget box, and then live, you know, I hear it, okay, it needs to be a URL living on Google Docs or living on the website. And I just want to know the answer to how to do that if you have it.
Jennifer, I would suggest that you had me nervous when you said it's a PDF, because PDFs tend to be less interactive. And
yeah,
so,
it's not interactive. I mean, it's simple.
Yeah, it's simple. So one thing I would recommend that you could have it where people click it and it'll live right there on your website is another service called Jotform.
Okay.
Jotform.com, which you can get absolutely free. It's not great for the quiz like Megan's talking about, where you can send people certain ways, but for just a form like you're talking about, create it in Jotform. And then Jotform will give you the embed code, and then you boom, you put that embed code right there on your Squarespace site, and they pop that page, and there it is.
Great. And then try interact. Megan, can you just spell that if I want to check that out?
I think it's TRY and then interact, like with a T. It might not have the T, but if you type it in that way on Google, it'll show up as an option.
Okay, great. Thanks for those two options. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Let's give you a kiss. Mwah. All right, Bodhi, let's answer your question. And then we have a couple things we want to address before lunch. So I'm gonna just, Bodhi, I know you just joined us, so go ahead and unmute yourself. Just click the microphone at the bottom of your screen.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. All right, so I think we're talking a lot about Kajabi, and Michael, you did just bring up the ClickFunnels thing, and I am a member of that. I just don't know if there's anything else that I need to know here. It doesn't sound like you are a fan. You've gone all in with Kajabi versus the ClickFunnels, yeah? I see some things with Kajabi that are user friendly, like you just said, you could, after you talk to somebody, you can put in notes and what. I haven't seen that in ClickFunnels yet. Anyway, anything else you can say about ClickFunnels?
Yeah. Well, and I'll also say it about Kajabi as well, just kind of a comparison. I also, by the way, I started, because I would get asked these questions all the time, I started a podcast called Buy This, Not That, where I review these different technologies so that people can look at it and go, oh, I see the differences now. And so I'm constantly trying out new stuff. I'm always looking for something better. And when I checked out ClickFunnels and was trying it out, some of the stuff that I was not crazy about is, they're not great for an online course or for a membership program. So if that is in your future, then that is one side where Kajabi blows ClickFunnels away, including little features. And this is where it beats membership on a website, is what's called drip content. And in case you don't know what drip is this means if someone signs up today, you only want to give them a smidgen of your program, and then a week later, they'll get the next module, and then a week later, another. You can control the drip of when stuff gets released to people, no matter when they sign up in the program. So that's also a super wonderful feature that not a lot of other things have. So that part's really cool. I'm not sure lately how ClickFunnels has updated their automation system, but automation is so important to have. It's like what's in the computer world would be what's called an if-then statement. If someone does this, then do this. And so you can create these so beautifully within Kajabi that says, if someone signs up for my free report, then do this. Whether that then is send me an email to let me know if somebody just signed up, or send them this email, or put them into this pipeline or whatever. So those types of statements are super powerful and easy to control within Kajabi. And so that's another thing that, makes it so far blow away the competition as I've seen it.
I think it does that though. So I'm just curious, how recent is your experience with ClickFunnels?
It's been a while, but I'll have to go and look again and sign up for another one of their 14-day free trials and check out what the newest stuff is. But I haven't seen a lot of the things like the drip and other features like that. It's just because it wasn't where they started. And it's why I keep both Infusionsoft and Ontraport. Wherever they started is usually where they're the strongest, and then the rest they're just starting to get good at.
Right. Yeah. Okay, good. That's it for now. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Bodhi. Let's give you a kiss. Welcome. And just to really highlight for everyone here, we had to choose one because we couldn't do trainings on Ontraport, Infusionsoft, ClickFunnels, Kajabi. We'd be just doing tech trainings only, and that's not our zone of genius. We're really here to get you the support in general on the marketing side of things, your messaging, what is that top level messaging that you're using, and what are the sequences that need to be put in place through whatever platform you have. And so for some of you, you're going to be using different platforms. And this was a bonus training that we added in today, just to look at this for those of you who are looking at how to bring your pieces together. For those of you who feel like, oh, I really love the one I'm using, I'm happy here, great, that's awesome, stick with that. And this is a zone for those of you who are looking for more resources, more support in this realm to get that. Now, for those of you who are, I'm just looking here for my link. For those of you who are wanting to go ahead and sign up for the free trial, you can do that right through Sage's link. And I'm just gonna paste this in a moment here. It's going slowly. So I just posted another call to action for you on the ELA page. And I put the link as the first comment underneath. It says, post the title for your free session or gift and bullet point results. So I'm going to put that in on both pages here. You'll see it on the page, and just scroll for, it's like a blue faded blue and white image. And it just says, post the title for your free session or gift and bullet point the results. So I just put in the link on both pages as the first comment with the tiny URL / Sage Kajabi. For those of you that want to sign up for your free trial, you can jump in. Some of you may already have Kajabi. That's great. And also, this is, let me just see, there's another question coming in. All right. Okay, great. Well, I'll get one more question here. But for some of you, you're just getting started and you want some more support with putting up your landing page. What's it going to look like? We're going to be doing that after lunch and doing a whole demo for what are the key things to have on your landing page, and actually using one of yours as an example, meaning someone who needs a landing page put up and you've either already got Kajabi or you just signed up for Kajabi. So what we need is over lunch for you to go ahead and post the title for your free gift or your free session and the bullet points of 2 or 3 results that people are going to get when they join. Now, what we'll need is we're going to be able to pick one of you over lunch that we can actually do the, Michael's actually, it's not a we, Michael's going to build it. Michael's going to build that page for you and put that up and show you how it's done so everyone can learn from watching the steps, and then you'll also get one up. And we'll need to have your login information. So the key thing is here, after lunch, when we choose someone, we're going to need you to email Michael the login information. So it'll be totally secure and he's the only one that'll have it. He's not going to go in there. You could even change it later, no problem. So it would just be emailing to michael@michaelneely.com. So you can see the spelling right there.
Yeah. And by the way, if you can send me a photo with it as well that I could use for the page, would be great.
Perfect. Yes. So an image that can be used. So you don't need to worry about video or anything in that realm, just a simple photo that you'd want to have used in there. So over lunch in the next 45 minutes, I'd encourage you to, if you're going to sign up, go ahead and sign up. If you're already signed up, that's great. That works too. And we want to be able to connect with you there. So I know a few people are putting it in. Perfect. Yes, I'm seeing some people adding in. We need to have the title and the bullet point results for the free gift underneath that post. And Michael and I and Erica are going to be looking at those over lunch and then choosing one to use as a demo. So go ahead and get that in there. Please add in your comment, I have Kajabi, so we know, because you can post your title and your gifts. If you don't have Kajabi, we still want to see, that's awesome. But we can't use it as the demo right now. So post if you're eligible and that you already have your Kajabi login. I also know that Vanessa Callahan was just messaging that she has a course that she created in Kajabi for her immersion, and she's happy to share it. And so I love to just, I know Vanessa, you're here and you're not going to be in the afternoon. So it would be great to, I'm just going to go ahead and unmute you. Hey, Vanessa.
Yeah, so, oh, hi, good to be here. Yeah, so I got on the Kajabi wagon back in November and created a really quick product that sold really well for what was it? Cyber Monday. And then I went ahead and decided to go for it and build my year-long immersion that started in January. And I've been super happy with, especially with the course development, what Michael's saying is so true. So let me go ahead and just see if I can share my screen.
Yes, I turned that on for you. Thanks for volunteering to share, real course of what you've built. So for those of you who are just meeting Vanessa, she's already been in Leverage for the last year and she's been rocking it. And this is, part of the way that you've been able to enroll so many clients and serve them because you have the systems in place.
Yeah, and the big thing that, just when Sage talks about creating like money love structure and creating structure, it meant a lot to my clients to open up this portal. I'm just trying to figure out the right screen share here. It meant a lot to my clients to see this right off the bat. Like they were able to see the outline of what they could expect for the year. And I think when it comes to course development, that was such a big part of it for them. Okay, I think I've got it now. All right. Shoot, I'll try this. I'm gonna just share my desktop and then I'll drag it over. So, can you see the course?
Yes.
Okay, so these are the products I created. This was my Cyber Monday Meltdown Mastery Package. It's just a 3-part thing where they got a training video, a link to a coaching session, and a guide. And I marked it way down and had 10 people buy it within 3 days. It was great. Like that was one of my hottest sales I've done. And then this is the year-long immersion that I've created. And in this, you'll see there's this great way to be able to, in the backside, just create a library and create posts and upload videos, and it all lives inside the product, which is so helpful. And then this is what they see, and it's really easy to make it like really pretty and beautiful. And you can put in a welcome video and all your intro, a little bit about yourself as the instructor. They'll be able to see their progress right on the front. And then you can even put in links so they have quick access to the things you want them to have access to. And then in here is where you start to build the actual course. And I have a start here post. And I built my library this way by topic because we have these like 7 pillars of raising resilient children. But then as I went, I was able to just start loading in, like for example, in January, I did a VIP training and you can upload the video right there. It's really beautiful. You can write in everything you want to about the course or about that training, and you can even have the downloads on the side, the handouts that go with it. So the modules, like Michael was mentioning, are just really easy to organize and for your users to be able to go through them. And what I was able to do right away in January was create what our topics were for the year, but not have to open those posts and have them ready. They could just be the placeholder, kind of like the Leverage page where you have those tiles. And they could anticipate like, oh, we're going to be focusing on this and that month, and building connection again in July. And then as I go, I just like open up those modules so they can just keep looking forward and having a map forward. What I love is that anytime I have communication or anything updated, I just come to one place and update it, and then I can even send an announcement from Kajabi to let them know that something changed. So all I had to do was just make some of these images in Canva that are sort of like the little headlines of each of the, the topics that you saw. And then as I go each month, I just go into the post and upload the video and the handouts and write a little bit about it, and then just switch it from draft to published, share the link to my users, and my everyone in my program now knows that it's where it is and everything about it. So yeah, so I've been really, really happy with Kajabi. It's been really easy. I'm not a back-end website development type person at all. And I was able to put a product together in like 48 hours with the Monday one, the Cyber Monday one. And this one I spent about a week, pretty continuously just putting it together, but then I had it for the year. So I wanted people to see like how Leverage and ELA pieces could come together with this platform, and it could really, you could feel very, very supported by it. Yeah.
Thank you, Vanessa. Oh my goodness. Thank you for messaging and just offering that example. So appreciate it. And I'm sure others do as well, getting to see like how it all works. And yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Vanessa.
That little product I made paid for the first 5 months of Kajabi. Like I brought in $1,000 into my business, and then I was like, okay, this platform's easy and I can generate some income, so then I can afford to pay for this service too. So
yes,
it'd be fun if you do sign up for it to just throw together something and, you know, put it at a COVID discount, throw it out there, and then pay for your Kajabi for the year. It could be an option for folks.
yes, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're
Beautiful. All right. I know that we've given you a lot to do over the break in terms of just coming up with your title and those few bullet points and signing up for Kajabi if you don't already have it. Kisses to you, Vanessa. Mwah. Thank you. And so we want to let you go for lunch. I also want to let you know that right after lunch, before we dive into more Kajabi content, I will be going over just briefly the opt-in page examples. There is also that handout that's there for you that goes over all the opt-in page examples so that you'll have it for yourself and you can just get to see what those look like. So that's your other handout that's in the forum. But I just want to touch on those so we can go over some of the details, and then Michael will actually build an opt-in page from one of you. Anything else, Michael?
Yes, also during the lunch break, I'll make it a working lunch for myself. So I'll stay at my computer and answer questions that I see popping up on Facebook as best I can. And for some of them, if it feels like it'll be better addressed verbally, then we'll talk about it during the next half.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will get to dive into more of those in the next half for sure. So we're going to be back at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So that's just under 40 minutes from now. So we'll see you back then. Yes.
Exactly. I don't see anything in the 2019 ELA. Are we posting in there about this too?
The 2019 ELA, it's in the 2020 ELA. So it's only I'm only on 2020 ELA and 2020 leverage pages. So that's where that goes. If you're not in those pages and you want to be considered for that, you could email Michael directly, Michael@michaelneely, but we're only monitoring because this is part of the 2020 segment going forward. It's in there and you're like bonused in to this segment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe just clarification.
Yeah.
Only the person you select after the break is emailing Michael the password and everything.
That's right. Not everybody emailing the password. Just the one that we select after break, because we're going to look at what those titles are, how ready you are to step in, and I'll check in with him right before we go live again.
And where do you want us to post them?
On the 2020 Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy. Not your passwords, just the text, right? So on the 2020 Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy and the 2020 Leverage, I did a post there that's a blue post that says post your title of your session or your free session or your opt-in gift and the bullet points. So only post under
that's different than the Leverage. It's the same as the Leverage Facebook, or it's a different one?
The Leverage Facebook page. Yeah, the 2020 Leverage Facebook page. Yep, there's a blue sticker that's in there. And let me see before we jump off if I can go. I don't know if I have that open anymore. Just a moment. Just double checking. Yes, it's in both places. So I'm going to screen share and then I want to let you go for break here so you have time to do these things. So this is what it looks like. I posted 23 minutes ago. Post the title and you'll just look on there, and I see already a few of you are getting your comments in. All right, thank you for your questions. And again, other questions you can definitely post below the post that was just for questions. That's for the morning and the afternoon. Any questions can go on there. Of course, we're answering some of them live here, so we're not going to type them all in there. It's just getting answered along the way. All right, we will see you at 2 p.m. Pacific, and looking forward to being back with you. Then take some deep breaths. get outside or at least stand up and move around so that you're ready to return with full focus for the afternoon. And bye for now. Mwah! Back on the same link.